Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Prophetic Marriage Ministry. My name is Shannon, if this is your first time, and I want to welcome you to my channel. So yes, I am still a little bit under the weather. However, I wanted to come on here because I do feel well enough to at least make a video for you all, because God has given me this lyrical message, this prophetic word to send out to his people to let you all know where exactly your spouses are in this process. This video is for people who may be in communication with your spouse, and it may not be going exactly the way that you maybe expected or thought it would, or maybe you wanted to go a little bit faster, or maybe you feel like, God, are you even in it, God? You may be doubting a couple of things, or maybe you're not in communication with your spouse as of yet, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, God, what is happening with these people? So one thing that I did want to say is to not despise the process that the Lord has you on, because you don't know what God is doing in your spouse's life. And if you're watching this, you clearly know what God is doing in your life. But if you're not in communication with the other person, we can't make assumptions and say, oh, they're not talking to us because they don't care, or they're not talking to us because, they just choose to just have a wonderful life without me. Maybe they're better off without me. No, God could very much well be working on their heart. And also, you already know God is working on your heart. God has been pruning you. God has been growing you. God has been teaching you. And this could very much well be a protection if you are not yet in communication with your spouse. God could be protecting you and your spouse from each other right now, or maybe you're ready and your spouse is not. When we talk about getting married, both of you guys have to be ready. And I know it can seem hurtful where maybe one person may be ready and the other person is not, or maybe one person may think they're ready and then they learn, okay, I'm not ready. And it's like this up and down roller coaster ride of, okay, God, when is this going to happen? How is it going to happen? How are you going to bring this together? But I just wanted to remind you once again, like I did in my previous video, to trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding, because God has a plan and God knows what he's doing. So I know it's frustrating when you don't know what's going on, when you don't know why they haven't reached out, or if you're in communication with your spouse, you may be trying to figure out, well, God, I thought it was going to go faster, or, they just don't seem present, or maybe you don't feel as present as you thought you would. But just know that this is all a process. God is getting the glory out of this. There are still some kinks and some things that the Lord is trying to work out within you and your spouse and within the circumstances around you two. And God does not want you to prematurely jump into this marriage when there are still some things that need to be worked out. Now, granted, when you get married, there very much will be some things that still need to be worked out. But like I've said in previous videos, there are some things that God is like, I want this particular thing to be dealt with before you get married. Whatever that thing is, it's different for everybody else. But anyway, the lyrical video or the lyrical song that the Lord had given me for this journey that we are in right now, and for where many of your spouses are at, is Faith Evans' Soon As I Get Home. And I was like, wow, God, that definitely does resonate. So let me get the lyrics for you. So it starts off with her just speaking. It says, your love is wonderful. Yeah, and I don't want to lose you. So baby. And the chorus is, soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I'll do what I gotta do. Soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I'll do what I gotta do. So many of these spouses, they may be not present, although they're there, or they may be present, but maybe there's still some circumstances that they have to work out, and you may not be able to spend as much time, or maybe you're not in communication with your spouse. But the Lord gave me this song to encourage you all, and also to encourage me, and let all of us know that as soon as your spouse gets home, when they get back in their right state of mind, when they are delivered from this prodigal state of mind, from this prodigal process, they will make it up to you. God will make it up to you as well. And they're just doing what they have to do right now, because deliverance is happening. They're going through this process of deliverance. They're going through this process of straightening things out, getting the logistics right within their life and within their circumstances. And you could be very much well doing the same thing, and everything will be what it's supposed to be. But right now, like, they're just doing what they have to do right now, and God is doing what he has to do, and you're doing what you have to do. So moving forward, the next verse says, sleepless nights and lonely days are all that fill my head all of the time. Oh, baby, but all I do is think about the way you make me feel, because, baby, the love is so real. So many of your spouses, or maybe even you may have nights where you feel lonely and you may have trouble sleeping. because maybe God has let you know during those times when you've woken up, your spouse is thinking about you too. And they may be having trouble sleeping because they may not have fully submitted to the plan of God. And God is letting you know, like, hey, they're having sleepless nights, and you may have sleepless nights, lonely days, just like them, but you're always on their mind. They're always like, you're always in the back of their mind, just as they are always in the back of your mind. And it may be hard, but you're experiencing this, God says, because the love is real. The love is very real. And just because you're experiencing these things, it doesn't mean that God is not there. It just means that you're just trying to like tussle through this process. We're still in this Jacob experience where, if you all remember the fast that we did, or maybe you were not a part of that fast, we were claiming that we are not letting God go until he blesses us. And so God had reminded me, like, we're in this wrestling moment with the Lord, just like how Jacob was wrestling with God in Genesis, how he got a new walk and a new name. And also, he just refused to release the Lord because he wanted all that God had for him. And so many of us are like on the brink of this like release, but we're still like kind of in it. So anyway, moving forward, it goes back to the course, which I've already explained, but I'll go ahead and read it again. Soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I'll do what I gotta do. Soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I'll do what I gotta do. Praise the Lord. They are going to do what they have to do. God is going to lay on their heart to do exactly what it is they have to do to make sure that this union comes together, to make sure that they make whatever moves they have to make, whether that be an apology, whether that be to set boundaries between family members, or whatever the case is. They're going to do what they have to do. And moving forward to the next verse, it says, if I try to spend some time with you to make you happy, would you feel better? And if I could, with you, I would be forever, forever in love, so in love, making love all through the night. We could hold each other tight. I could take away the pain if you would only let me just forget about the past, because I want to make it last. Baby, I apologize, because boy, I really need you in my life. So right now, your spouse is saying that they really want to spend time with you. They really want things to be better between the two of you. But whatever is happening, they aren't exactly able to do that at this moment. But they're saying, I want to be there. I want to do that. I want to hold you close to me. I want to be there forever. I want our past to be completely erased, because I don't want to have to go through that dark moment, or these moments where it was hard for us to reconnect, those moments where it was hard for us to be able to spend time with each other. In the last part of that verse where it says, baby, I apologize, because boy, I really need you in my life. Your spouse is going to be apologetic for the things that they could not have done with you and for you during those moments of their life when it was just too rough and too difficult, or maybe they were just like discombobulated. They are going to be apologetic when they return. And so it goes again back to the course. It says, soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I'll do what I gotta do. Soon as I get home, I'll make it up to you. Baby, I'll do what I gotta do. And I already explained that. So moving forward, it says, baby, if you just give me another chance, I can show you love. Promise I'll be true to you. Don't have to worry, because I'm going to treat you right. Baby, I miss you. Just want to kiss you. Hold you in my arms tonight. Yeah, so basically this is them saying like, oh my gosh, like, I love you so much. I miss you so much. This is what I want to do with you. I want to be able to embrace you. I want to be able to hug you because I'm missing you so much. I do yearn for you. You're not going to have to worry when all of this turmoil, when all of this warfare is finished, and it's not going to be like completely finished, because, Satan always be trying something. But when we're on the brink of trying to get into a very big blessing, when we're on the brink of transitioning, Satan does ramp up his devices even more, because he doesn't want you to get there. He doesn't want your spouse to get there. Your spouse is saying that when they arrive, you don't have to worry anymore, because their mind will be returned to them, and everything will be calm, and everything will be solidified. It won't be perfect, but it'll at least be better than what it is right now. Just going out, it says, soon as I get home, baby, I know what I gotta do, because I don't need no one but you. Soon as I get home, baby, I know what I gotta do, because I don't need no one but you. Soon as I get home, I'm so sorry. Baby, I know what I gotta do, because I don't need no one but you. Soon as I get home, baby, I know what I gotta do. So yeah, your spouse is just over and over exclaiming to you like, I know I have to do better. I know I have to make this right. I know that I have to like cross my T's and dot my I's. I know that I have some apologizing to do, some making up to do. But us and you as the God ordained believing spouse, or maybe some prodigals may be watching me, I don't know. If you're a prodigal, then I pray that you return to your spouse as the Lord leads you to. But if you are the God ordained believing spouse, I pray that you have a heart of forgiveness and you can remove the bitterness and receive your spouse so that you guys can move forward and be able to address these things so that it won't be so heart-wrenching for them to return. Because what God had given me through this lyrical is that they are trying to get home. They want to come home and they're like, oh my gosh, as soon as I finish with these circumstances, as soon as I finish with this like big task, as soon as I figure out what in the world is going on, then I'm going to come back to you. And don't be discouraged, because this just means that they care so much about you and themselves that they do not want to jump into a relationship so quickly when things are not the way that they're supposed to be, when they know that they won't be able to be as present, or they know that they have so much sin or whatever in their life. They don't want to involve you in it. They want to make sure that they are at a point where they're ready and available enough to receive you, to spend time with you, to be able to be that present husband, that present wife. So don't get discouraged in this time. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm telling you, God gave me this song, Soon As I Get Home, to let many of you know. And like I said, even if you're in communication with your spouse is having this moment. They may not fully be there or as present as you would like them to be, or maybe it's not moving as fast as you thought that it would. But just know that as soon as they get home, that can mean like a state of mind, or it could be spiritually or physically. As soon as they get home, as soon as they are restored, as soon as they are redeemed, as soon as the circumstances are situated, they will do what they have to do, and they miss you and they love you so much. And the last thing that I wanted to share is this scripture that God had given me. Is from the book of Philemon, and it is Philemon chapter 1. It's only one chapter in Philemon, I believe, and it's verses 15 through 16, and it reads, "Perhaps the reason he was separated from you for a little while was that you might have him back forever, no longer as a slave, but better than a slave, as a dear brother. He is very dear to me, but even dearer to you, both as a fellow man and as a brother in the Lord." So God is saying they are only separated for a little while, whether that be spiritually separated, physically separated, mentally separated, whatever it is. God is working all of this for his good, and it will be for his glory and your good, because we know when God is in it that we can feel safe with trusting God and moving forward in this promise and being steadfast and being immovable and continuing in prayer without overly stressing yourself out, because at the end of the day, these people belong to the Lord. So the only thing that we can do is just pray, believe, have faith, fast as you feel led, and God will do the rest. If you feel led to sow into this word, I will leave the information down below. And I want to thank you so much for everybody who has sown and those of you who have donated, because I have been sick and resources have been low. So I want to thank you so much for doing that. I am still doing coaching. I know it seems like, oh, you're not that well yet. I understand, but I'm still able to still talk to a certain degree. So yes, if you want coaching, please email me at propheticmarriage@gmail.com. If you just want to sow in general, you can still do that if you'd like to. If this word has blessed you, please leave a comment down below and let me know how, and if it resonates with you, please subscribe if this is your first time, if you feel led. But I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Prophetic Marriage Ministry, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye bye.